rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and thank you for joining us on another Star Wars Friday. I guess it's not Saturday. We'll be back on Saturdays at some point soon, but right now, for these Force Fridays, I guess. Thank you for joining us. It's been another great week for Star Wars. We got some news to talk about finally, because of course that penultimate episode of Skeleton Crew, which just keeps getting better and better, if possible. It's been a great show so far. Can't wait for the finale next week. It's going to be very interesting to see where this show ends up with everything that happened this past week, and of course everything leading up to it. So very excited to see what's going to happen with Skeleton Crew next week. But this week we have a lot to talk about, and don't worry, Otti will be here soon. He's back. He'll join us again this week. He sent me a text saying, hey, don't worry, I haven't forgotten, which is basically code to I'll be there, but I'm going to be late. So we'll be here in a couple of minutes, hopefully, before we start diving into all this Star Wars goodness out there. But how are you guys doing? Thanks for being here. And as always, if this is your first time joining, thank you for being here. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any new episodes, especially when we're going to be on hiatus for at least 2 weeks, starting after the finale. Make sure you're subscribed so you get those notifications when we come back on the air. Like this video so we can keep spreading the word of Star Wars, and comment down below any thoughts or anything you want us to discuss in the future, or your thoughts just on this episode of Skeleton Crew and all the topics we'll be talking about today. And as always, big thanks to everyone that still listens to our audio podcast. Make sure that you also subscribe over there in any of the places you get your podcast. You'll find us there, and leave us a 5-star rating and reviews. We always love to read those. So thank you, guys. So on one end, very happy to be here. On the other end, it's been a difficult week for a lot of people on the West Coast. So our thoughts are with all the people affected with the California fires down here on the scrolling by. It's a couple of places you can go and help, donate, spread the word. If you can't, then just retweet or put it out there for other people that might be able to help in any way possible. All that information is also in the description of this video. We'll put it also on the audio podcast. So anyone that have the opportunity to help out, you can go to any of these places or just go online. There's a lot of other wonderful people doing great, important work out there. So I'll leave that scrolling by for the next couple of minutes before we jump into the show. But all right, as we wait for Otti, let me see who's out there today. Our friend, of course, Brennan is here. How you doing, Brennan? Page Turners, they were not. Hello there, friends. This was another terrific episode. I'm excited to see what happens in the finale, but I'm also sad because it's the end of what has been a wonderful show. As always, Brennan, you're correct, and we're right there with you. It's been a great show so far. It's been a surprise, I think. At least look who's here. He's there. He's here. He's everywhere. He's our friend, Otti1 Kenobi. If he remembers how to log in, he'll come in at some point here.
I got like a bunch of pop-ups when I
Yeah, there's a bunch of new things for StreamYard. So
yeah.
Anyways,
Hi everyone.
How you doing? Welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing good. Every time I come back, it's always like, where's this cable? Where's that thing? So that's what I was doing the last couple of minutes. I'm doing good. How about you? Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Three Kings Day. Everything.
3 Kings Day.
Out there.
Yep.
I'm doing well. Still in my bedroom. I'll move next week. I'll try to move next week. My in-laws just left yesterday, so I haven't had time to move everything back. So
okay.
I'm still here. But yeah, apart from that, very cold here in Florida.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so nothing. We're just doing our little thing. Brennan is there. Dale Skywalker.
Hey, Dale.
He agrees with Brennan, and of course he's here. And we can leave this one out. He's saying hi to you specifically.
Kenobi.
All right, Otti, it's been a couple of weeks. I
It
don't know.
has.
I'm gonna ask, have you done any reading? Any Star Wars reading? Still no?
No.
Oh
I
my
haven't
god.
had the time, man. I
Well,
barely watched
You,
Star
you were a
Wars.
bit busy, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was getting married, and no, but it was like a whole thing because both our families were here in Puerto Rico. Like her
Mhm.
family's from Puerto Rico, but they all live in the States.
Yeah.
So we had like something every single day, and
Oh
now
wow.
I'm back to work, and it started off like at 1,000 miles per hour. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I
I
took
haven't
a
had time to shave. Like that. That's
oh,
where I'm at right now.
dude, I cut my hair. I'm like, it's a new year. We're all
New
starting
year, new
fresh.
me. No, I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Dude, I took a 3 week vacation from work and I started back on Monday. I still don't know what I'm doing. It's
I
like I
think
forgot everything. So
I was out for 3 weeks, and
yeah.
it's always what I do is like the week before I turn on my work
Mhm.
phone, so that way like I get the emails and it's not like a surprise when I
Sure.
come back.
Yeah. Yeah, still bad. But I'm glad
Whatever.
you're here. Thanks for joining again.
Uh,
Congratulations on your wedding. Hopefully it was as perfect as everyone hoped it would be.
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony, maybe we'll show you the videos later, but Tony and I and our band we played. That was
Oh,
pretty
nice.
awesome. So yeah.
Yeah. Tony sent me a picture of him. I'm like, okay, you're not the one getting married, but that's
No,
fine.
I sent you a picture of
Oh,
Tony.
yeah. Oh, it was fun. All right. So that's apart from what we're talking about today. But Oti, there's Star Wars news. Can you believe it?
There's
Let's
Star
talk
Wars
about
news.
it.
Yep.
So if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars and Star Wars news.
Star Wars news.
Right. So the first news that we'll touch on it kind of started as a rumor. I'm still gonna say it's a rumor because it's not confirmed by Lucasfilm, so we'll keep it as not official. But it seems to be confirmed by a few places out there. So originally reported by Jeff Snyder and now confirmed by the Hollywood Reporter, Rory McCann, best known as the Hound for Game of Thrones, will replace the late Ray Stevenson in season 2 of Ahsoka, playing Baylan Skoll. This came out of nowhere, at least for
Mm-hmm.
myself, in terms of fan casting. Baylan Skoll, again, a character that came out in Ahsoka as a brand new character and quickly became a fan favorite for everyone. And when, of course, the tragedy of Ray Stevenson happened, after you kind of deal with the real life of what that means,
You
the
have to
thought
recast.
goes to, will they recast? Are they just going to forget about the character? What's going to happen? And then this news dropped yesterday, I believe, or the day before. I'm on board. We'll see. Baylan and what Ray Stevenson did was very special, the way he portrayed that character. So it's, again, big shoes to fill, but I think Rory McCann can do it. At least physically, he's imposing enough.
Yeah, no, that physically definitely. This is the kind of thing I had completely forgotten about that we needed to recast Ray
Yeah.
Stevenson. Unfortunately, so when I saw, I was like also bummed out at the same time
Yeah.
because I love that character
Mhm.
and I definitely want more to his story. I would have loved Ray Stevenson to continue, but hey, life sucks. I so I'll say this: I love him as an actor.
Hmm.
I like that he's one of those actors I was like, I want him in Star Wars in some capacity. Um, I think he can do it, but I'm kind of skeptical.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I trust the casting directors. Star
Mm-hmm.
Wars TV, at least casting wise, has been pretty on point so far. And I think this is, I mean, they probably have been working on this casting. Sure, they're just walking around. A casting that they probably have been working on for a while. So
Yeah.
if they decided on Rory, it's because they see something in him. So I want to trust that. But yeah, for me, he's mostly the Hound, which the
Yeah.
Hound is very different to what Baylan Skoll did. So
Mm-hmm.
trying to separate those right now is a little bit difficult.
I mean, but
We'll see.
now that you think of it, is it? It's
At
a
least
big guy, a
the way
big
he
knight
talked,
with a girl, with a younger girl, and he's
yeah.
training her. He's not great to her.
Mhm. We'll
Maybe
see. We'll
he
see.
could also be Joel from Last of Us.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot. No, we'll see. We'll see.
Made something. I'm grateful that we know that even if it's not him, that says this is just a wild rumor, or someone else, is that they're moving forward with recasting because this is an important character in this story that they're telling. So I'm at least grateful that we're going to continue that.
I mean, the ending of Ahsoka was like, oh no, he's super important, I guess.
Yeah, it's
I think
basically.
if they were gonna cut him out, they would have re-edited that ending.
Yeah, they just do a new special edition finale for that one.
No, what I was gonna mention was that this is the same casting people that recasted all of Rebel characters, and it super worked.
Yeah.
So
look at Ezra. We were all like, "Who's gonna be Ezra?" Does he work? And it's perfect. It's maybe the best one.
Even Sabine, everyone's like, Tia Sakar could super do it, and she got recasted. And Natalia, I forgot her last name. She was
Leo Baldizo, I think. Yeah,
she was excellent as Sabine. So,
all right. So, great news inside some bad news, I guess. But great news out there. All right. Following this up, and this is not a rumor because this came from, as they say, from the horse's mouth. Is from Dawn of the Jedi. So during an interview with MovieWeb promoting his new movie, A Complete Unknown, director and writer James Mangold talked about his upcoming Star Wars movie, currently dubbed Dawn of the Jedi. He had a few things to say related to why he took on the project and not being handcuffed by the lore of Star Wars. I'm just going to read a few of the things and we'll discuss. So first he said, to me, the really important aspects are the freedom to make something new. Bo and I, in relation to Star Wars, have been working on a script. I will see what happens. Do we find a way on the page to say something original? Which, of course, every time you go into Star Wars, you want to tell your own story. We got to kind of keep it with everything that's happened. But this is Dawn of the Jedi. This is tens of thousands of years, so they can be original with it. So at least it's a good start, I guess. And plus, they're still working on the script, which is always good to hear.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to quickly point something out that Dale is saying. He's saying that if Jeff Snyder says it's pretty much confirmed, which is how Hollywood Reporter printed it. He's someone that everyone likes to dunk on. I don't really like him I don't like to listen to him.
Sure.
That's what I'll say. But yeah, I'll never forget it. He was the person that the night before Celebration, he said it's gonna be 3 Star Wars movies, and I was like, "Come on, they can't even get one done." And like 12 hours later, 3 new Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I remember. I'm pretty sure I was here on the show saying he's not gonna. Maybe
it
one.
Felt impossible.
It
was crazy. But yeah, no, I just wanted to mention that. James Mangold, I love that he's like, I want to make a Star Wars movie that doesn't tie into any Star Wars.
Yeah. Which is basically also Skeleton Crew if you think about it a little bit.
Oh, we'll get to that. I have thoughts. Yeah, I don't know. Like, cool. I'm still super excited for it. Like, and I think about a little bit of Indiana Jones. He kind of did the same thing. He was like, no, I want to tell my Indiana Jones story. I'm not bothered by what came before, and he wrote his own rules. Much to the anger of many. I really love that movie. So
yeah, I gotta watch it. I've only watched it once, and I enjoyed it. I had some issues with it. I want to go again, kind of everything behind me, and just rewatch it to see how I feel now.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm super excited for this movie, and hopefully we get news soon on what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, celebrations around the corner. We'll find out. But
it's literally around the corner.
Yeah. So he went on to say, and this is not interesting, but what I really love is the Star Wars movie will be taking. This is him talking. The Star Wars movie will be taking place 25,000 years before any known Star Wars movie takes place. It's an area and a playground that I've always wanted to explore, and that I was inspired by as a teenager. I'm not that interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost immovable, and you can't please anybody. Which, if you've been online long enough or part of the Star Wars fandom, you can't please anyone if you're doing anything that ties to something else. Which I also take this as anything that you think about the Old Republic, forget about it. All that legend stuff, that's not coming. This is brand new. So I love that. Plus, we got is 25,000 years. We weren't sure how far back it was gonna go.
Maybe we don't get all of it. I'm sure we'll get some of it. Like even he's like David Gilroy, like Yeah, I don't care about lore. Like, yeah, I'm sure like the production design people are gonna put a lot of things.
Oh
in
yeah,
there. But yeah, no, I want to see what his vision of the Old Republic is.
yeah.
And also I'm begging him, like after watching Dune Prophecy, I really like that show,
Mhm.
but like every single episode I'm like, does this show really need to be 10,000 years
Yeah.
before
Could have been
Fall
2 weeks.
Atreides? Like, come on, can't it just be like 500 years? So like I hope that the 25,000 years means
Feels like.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy Doom Prophecy, but it's really the Atreides and whatever the other guys are
The
have been fighting.
Harkonnens.
The Harkonnen have been
10,000 years.
That's beef. That's having beef with someone.
Like Alberto, I'll invite you to do something. Check Google or Wikipedia 8,000 BC, which would be like 10,000 years
Yeah.
before now, and you'll be like shocked at what the planet was at that point.
Maybe next week we'll talk about that. I go
Okay.
into a rabbit hole.
Tony and I did it like while we were discussing the show, and we're like, I think the wheel hadn't been invented.
Oh.
Something like that.
Caveman with clubs for the first time is yes, we got weapons.
Anyways.
But very important also, it's when you talk about Star Wars, you all think about the action and all the adventure and all the Jedi stuff. But he says that success is never guaranteed, but the reality is that the way to get most people to agree is to move them, to somehow find that humanity in a situation, whether it's a mega franchise or a smaller dramatic movie. Whatever they are, usually the movies you remember are the ones that move you. Which seems that he's really going to be diving that script to touch into the humanity of those characters and make us really connect to them, have those feelings, which it's something we get in Star Wars, usually in the books. Movies are more action-paced and adventure style. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays, but also that he's kind of looking at it that way and not trying to make a big spectacle, which I'm sure is going to be, but we need to connect with the story and the characters who will be presented. So I love everything that he said so far in that interview. So I'm really excited for this movie, more than I was before.
Same.
All right, and we'll finish with another rumor. Then kind of goes hand in hand, but at the same time, I prefer the movie. It's that an Old Republic TV show. A rumor.
Where did this come from?
So staying with the Old Republic time period, inside there, another one, Daniel Richman, which is the other one. Apart from Jeff Snyder, every time there's something breaking or a scoop, is from Daniel Richman, which I really don't know. I've seen his name a bunch of times, but I don't know who he is. He says that Star Wars is developing a show in the Knights of the Old Republic era, which is something we've been hearing for years and years, but it kind of came up again. So I just wanted to throw that out. I'll take it. I'll take a show in
developing.
Again, yeah, developing. You know how that goes.
They've probably been developing an Old Republic show since they bought.
About it. Yeah, I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah, no, I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. That's all I can say.
Again, celebrations around the corner. That's when we'll be able to talk a lot about a bunch of stuff that will be revealed there. But
I'm so annoyed that we're probably gonna get announcements and with no follow up to the previous announcements. But you know what? Like it would make sense. Like what TV shows are they gonna do? Like after
Ahsoka, there's nothing.
Andor, Ahsoka, and that's it.
Visions, but
no, but I mean live action. Like
right. It's celebration is gonna be very important.
You can still renew Acolyte, guys.
We're gonna take, or at least I'm gonna take 2 weeks. After next week finale, I'm taking 2 weeks off.
Okay.
So I didn't take a break during Christmas. And then we'll come back at least, I think that first Friday, because I'll still be doing shows on Friday for a little bit.
Okay.
In February is kind of Star Wars Podcast Day. We'll do an episode, look back at 2024 and look forward to 2025. And we'll discuss all this stuff and what we think might be announced at Celebration. What we hope gets announced. Cool. All right, so with all that out of the way, let's go, dude. Skeleton Crew. Let's talk about it. Finally, you're here to talk about it. So, Star Wars on TV.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan.
Star Wars on TV.
Ah,
Did I cut it?
yeah.
Sorry. There we go. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I cut it off. I just clicked it once. I got my fat fingers. Uh, anyway, Oti, episode 7. We're gonna be in so much trouble. But before we jump into it, because we haven't seen you in about 3 weeks, your overall thoughts on the last 3
I
episodes?
love the show. I
Everything.
love it completely, 1,000%. I love the kids. I love Jod. I love Smee or 33. I love this show. Those are my thoughts.
All right, so let's go. Let's talk about the parents first. As always, we'll kind of subdivide. I love this intro. I love that every time that we get the parents, it's usually at the beginning, and they're planning some
It's
weird
every other
scheme.
episode.
Yeah, and this week it didn't disappoint. 2 weeks ago, it was they're trying to get the information from the computer, which didn't work. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And then this week, they're trying to send that communication device, a communication buoy. And then they start playing capture the flag or hot potato, whatever you want to call it. But I love when Neil's mom gets shot down. I'm like, oh, she'll be fine. I just freaking leave her.
Yeah. They're just stunning though. Let's go.
Oh, that was a great little introduction to. They're still working together. They still want to get the kids back. Yeah. But I love that little scene. All the droids don't care. Like, you are breaking the rules. We're gonna put that down. We're gonna shoot you.
They're like even more less threatening battle droids.
Yeah, they're so weird.
Roger.
But I love that little chase scene. And even the design of that convoy, I thought it was something just gonna set on the ground and would set a signal. And no, it just goes flying out to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk a little bit later more about the message they sent, but I said this last week. I think it was last week or the week before. For me, the show thrives with all the pirate themes. Every time it goes back to that pirate vibe, is when it really clicks. Yeah. And I love everything with the pirates again this episode. From the ship coming out of hyperspace, finally in front of At Attin, and the design of that ship is incredible with that music hitting that I know you love. So
Mike Giacchino, my friends. Mike
Giacchino, he killed it. So just that introduction to the ship arriving at Attin, and freaking Brutus is one of my favorite characters. All the alien designs in there, all the pirates. It's just a great way to, yeah, Jod, you're still with us, but we still have you in handcuffs. I'm still going to throw you out the airlock if this doesn't pan out. Look at that freaking planet. It's not there. Where do you brought us? So just that scene, I love this. I love this so much.
My favorite thing about Brutus is like watching the show and watching Jod Na kill his delivery and his lines, and have this realization that he's talking to a werewolf. He's talking to a freaking werewolf. Like when he got shot, Tony texted me, "Oh, he shot Lassie."
Dude, I was so sad. I love Brutus. I think I told you, or maybe. So when we learned that the name of that wolfman was Brutus, we called our dog Brutus because he's a big dumb dog. So every time we see Brutus, it's like, oh, that's our dog right there. It's a golden lab. I mean, like a golden retriever. But still.
But I was telling Tony that, like, again, go back to the previous episode, that scene when Jod does this epic speech.
Yeah.
Like, he's talking to Muppets. Like, they are all like puppets or big weird outfits. It's crazy. And I love it, by the way.
Oh, of course. I mean, how many episodes we've done about the stupidity, not the stupidity, but the weirdness in Star Wars and how dumb it is sometimes. And I mean, go back to all the interviews that Jod Na did before the show came out. All he did was talk about the great puppets and animatronics he had to work with. And it was about seeing Jawas and Moses scene where talking to 3 different people controlling the faces. You gotta love it. And then you see it. I mean, Jod Na, he's not gonna die. He's gonna keep coming back. You can't kill this guy, this character. We need Jod Na in Star Wars.
I mean, don't say that. He'll probably die next week.
We'll see. He's more sensitive. He can heal himself. We'll get. But I love this character again. All kudos to Jod Na because he's loving this
amazing. He
and
was born to be in Star Wars.
eating every line and playing this character, because you can say, oh, maybe they play another character or something, but I love that every chance he gets, he's just firing excuses left and right just to make sure he doesn't get killed or thrown out the air. Like, oh, it's a trick. The planet is camouflage. Oh, it's behind. It's hidden inside the storm. It's a defensive grid. It's the ship. Like everything. No, don't kill. I have something to come back at.
He's Jack Sparrow. He's just bullshitting his way to the next situation. There's a moment that it killed me when they send the Quarren and the Quarren explodes.
Glurb, I cried.
You cried? I did not. I could not.
I didn't cry internally.
Okay, whatever.
I said Quarrens are my favorite. Quarrens are my favorite alien design.
Really?
No, I said it last week. I love Quarrens.
I mean,
but they gave me the worst name because Glurb. Come on, you were gonna die with that name, but.
I mean, I'm like, really? My favorite aliens are Twi'leks, so and they're like the most basic aliens, just like humans with yeah. What was I saying? Oh, there's a moment that I love.
I know where you're going, but
when the Quarren exploded, and Brutus is like about to kill Jod, and Jod's like, we should probably send another ship.
Yeah, I had it. Glurb, and then maybe we should send another one. Perfect.
Again, just that's. I was talking to my cousin, and he was saying like, no, he's just he's an expert force wielder, and he's just biding his time, and he knows exactly what he's gonna do. And like, I think it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I think he has no idea what he's doing. He can only use the force for party tricks, and like, yeah, he's just stumbling from here to there.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I'll let you talk, but we haven't talked about the show. There's a moment I loved in the previous episode, very similar to this, when Urkel finds him.
Yeah.
They're like, John, we're going to arrest you. And he's like, thank God I find you. I've been looking for you guys.
Yeah. It's like, he's a Jack Sparrow, but without the drunkenness behind
Yeah,
it.
he's sober Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. You know what? Because I thought about this yesterday, or after I watched it the first time. I was on board before, and maybe a little bit still, like he used to be a Jedi, or he trained in the Jedi, or he knows a little bit of what he's doing. And I don't know if it's the way he's doing it or just my interpretation. The way he holds the lightsaber and moves it around doesn't seem like he knows how to wield it. He's using it like, oh, look, like I would if I got a lightsaber, just doing this. And so I think it's what you're saying, that he really doesn't know how to use the force. I don't
your focus determines your reality. Like he attended a seminar.
One class. He went to a Zoom meeting once, and then
I kind of want him to be just a pirate that happens to be force sensitive, and no one ever found him, and he lived his life being like, no, I can move things from here to there. I think they'll probably tie it back to the Jedi in some way, and I think I'll be fine with it if it works for the story. But I do want to. If I had my wish, it would be that it's just a guy.
We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. We'll see if there's any redemption for him, or even if he needs one. But we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Definitely needs one, man.
Sorry?
Well, whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
So just finishing up with the pirates as we break it down. I love, again, the look of this show is amazing. And seeing the barrier, not just from the outside, but when they went inside the barrier and that chase scene, come on, that's great to watch. Of course, if you read the Markian Row comic book when they went to the nameless planet,
Planet X,
kind of had that visual, but seeing that in live action, the way the buoys work or the barrier, because we haven't really seen it, it works great. And then
those were the red lights that we could see.
Yeah, there's a reason no one visits. So it's a great design.
Tony and I have this joke in Star Wars where we're tired of nebulas or
don't watch Star Trek
then. Because like we've gotten so many. We got Exegol, we have Planet X, we have in Jedi Survivor, Talinor has a honeycomb castle, and now this one. So that's like our inside joke, making fun of them. But they're cool, so that's why they keep on doing them.
And what's great is that all of them work a little bit different.
Yeah.
They look a little bit different. So, all right. So let's talk about the kids and then bring in Jod and his betrayal, which happened, of course, earlier with last week's episode. But I love that finally everyone's happy. KB had the coordinates in her memory bank, so they were able to get back over there. So everyone's happy. Hey, finally we're gonna get back home. Nothing's gonna. Maybe they'll let us keep the ship and all this stuff. But women kind of here we go. I don't want to go back. We'll go back to the same way it was before. I still gotta take my test. It's been gone for 2 weeks and still thinking about school. So the only thing I didn't, not that I didn't like, but I feel that sometimes the way that kids act on one episode kind of forget what happened going to the next episode. Like William, a couple of weeks ago, he didn't want to go back. I think he was talking to Neil like, oh, the adventure's finally getting started, or things are getting, when they get to At Attin, I think he's like, oh, why are we home? I want to keep going on adventures. Then last week he was kind of down when talking to Jod, like, oh, I miss my parents. I just want to see them. I'm almost died. This is not what I thought an adventure was going to be. And then this week he's like, oh crap, I don't want to go back because it's going to be the same thing as before. So it kind of felt a little weird that he still had that mentality. But anyway, it worked. And I'm glad it was Fern that kind of consoled him a little bit, because a few weeks before it had been Wim consoling Fern where she was down in At Attin. So I like that interaction. Am I crazy?
No, I really didn't think about that. I don't really care. I do like that moment, like everyone being like so happy, like finally be home, but women's like, man, like everything we went through, and I'm sorry I started this.
Yeah.
After being the one like who started it and was excited about it. I really like that, and the kids being like, no, we had a lot of fun, like this was cool.
I think Neil said we almost died, but it was fun.
That's what an adventure is like.
Yeah, that's nice. They get caught in this tractor beam, which I guess happens in all those planets. I'm jumping ahead. They got put in the tractor beam by the pirates and then pulled into the ship, and this is where
that's when they trap Brutus
with that claw. And again, all these people know what they're doing. They showed us that claw 4 weeks ago. And now here, this is why. Just to trap Brutus. And unfortunately shot him. Did any part of you think Jod wasn't going to shoot him as soon as he grabbed that blast?
No, absolutely not. Like, of course he was going to shoot him. He was just waiting for his chance.
I'm sad that Brutus died, especially in that matter. I knew it was going to happen at some point, at least a confrontation between the two of them. I'm sad it happened. But thank you, Brutus.
In the last episode, he's like, I think we can all agree Brutus is a great second mate.
Yeah, he's a great second in command. And then when he killed him, Brutus was something stinking mutineer.
Mutineer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man,
Jod was just unleashed from that point on.
Oh yeah, he told them, he's like, you can't kill me. The crew loves me, so no matter what you do,
like plunder. Nah,
yeah,
they love me.
They like me. They hate you. They like me. So Jod takes the ship, takes the kids hostage. They gotta figure what to do. Gotta come up with a plan. Gotta love Wim, right? Okay, we gotta come up to a plan.
That was
attack! Just went nuts.
Fern's like, no, we can attack him through his grid. Just attack.
He went nuts. I thought at one point I thought it was gonna work. It went like through pirates, and then no, you're caught.
Yeah. But it was all about unclaimsies.
So let's go. So before we get to claimsies. So the worst possible time for the parents' message to show up.
The Amblin moment.
Yeah. Which happens if you were being a kid. Your parents will call you sometimes at the worst moment where you're talking to your friends or talking to someone that you don't like, and your parents show up with something to say something that's just going to embarrass you for the rest of your life.
Wait, I have to go to work.
Yeah. So at least two things I enjoyed for this talk that kind of expanded a little bit the story was, you need to find a Republic emissary to enter the barrier, which we had no idea what the hell this was. And I still have questions about what really a Republic emissary is.
We'll get to that.
And then when Wim's dad said, "Oh, you shouldn't have found out about this until you graduate." Again, why are they hiding something? But after you graduate, it will tell you the truth.
I mean, they're like 13 years old.
But what are they hiding? Yeah, we have credits. We don't want anyone to know. Okay. I mean, you don't need to be 17 to learn that. You can tell that to a kid.
The show needs to happen.
I mean, it's fine. I think there's something else going on at Attin under the surface, as we know there's something under it. Yep. But the power of unclaimsies, this again, I love the callbacks to all the previous episodes. I mentioned it last week that the way they saved the Onyx Cinder was doing things that they had done in previous episodes. Mm-hmm. I love this, and not just that they call claimsies first, but the look between Wim and Jod when SM33 is like, well, actually, you can't be the captain of this ship because you already have a ship, so you can't captain both at the same time. And they both look at for like 3 seconds. It's like, are we really gonna do this? I'm just with a simple claimsies, I'm gonna get my ship back. So I love that. And then I said,
by the way, Wim claimed the ship. I will not hear otherwise.
Right. He's the only one that claimed it. And I thought he was finally going to be able to be the captain, since we know he didn't get it in that first episode. Maybe by the end of the show, he'll get it. But then I love that Fern came in. I call them claimsies and then claims it only for the kids. This is not the way that it works, blah, blah, blah. Punch right in the face. Close enough.
33 goes like, punch. It's not a thing, but close enough.
Yeah. Last week I was asking. I thought that SM33 was gonna just break the pirate code and help the kids in some way. I didn't expect it to be this way. But just the way it was shot. Come on, it was great comedic effect, but it worked perfect.
It was hilarious. Yeah. By the way, that's something the show I think has done very clever. Like, build some expectations and then do something very different. Like in not the last episode, the one before that, when Wim takes out the lightsaber, right? So I was ready to scream.
Yeah.
Like I was like, he's gonna ignite it, and he's gonna hit Jod with it, and it's gonna be the coolest thing ever. Yeah. And when he had it like upside down and it bounced up and he screams. It was hilarious.
It was same thing, and it's how the way that the shot was composed and the kind of the expectation of it and the music building. You think it's gonna be this heroic moment, and no, it just breaks it right off.
They've done a great job playing with the expectation.
Yeah. So then we get that chase through the Cloud Nebula. And they find out that, oh no, the ship is the key. It's an At Attin ship. So it's the only way that they can get in and out without being shut down. So really cool way to kind of learn why they were able to escape. So as they're approaching At Attin, finally, Jod gets his lightsaber out and beheads SM33, which I did not like one bit.
He thankfully did not kill the
little rat.
Mouse. Yeah.
And then tells them, okay, I've seen your parents. I know what they look like. So if you say anything, I'm going to kill them also. So,
yep. Doesn't he say something like, now you know who to kill first or something?
Yeah, something like that. Do you think SM33, he'll come back, right? They'll fix him?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure KB is gonna be like, oh, it's only 1 billion bolts. Like,
give me 5 minutes and I'll get it back. Yeah. I thought when Jod told the droids when they get down to the planet, oh, just keep them in the ship so they don't get in trouble. I thought that's where they were going to rebuild them. But they didn't go too much further up the stairs. But a great scene when I started to doubt that Jod was kind of come back, and we'll see if the redemption is down. We'll leave that for a little bit later, but I've always been we've talked about it. Oh, it's gonna double cross them, and then the triple cross will be the surprise where he comes back and saves them. But that scene when he's just letting it all go, ramming into the kids like, shut up, I've had it with all your jabber, and not just you, every single one of you, and he's yelling at Neil And when he's like, leave me alone, it's not just him, it's all of you. Shut up and firm. What the hell are you going to say? Just stay there. I'm going to kill everyone. I mean, gotta love the guy as a villain, as a pirate. We get a feel for the kids also. With a great scene after getting some comedic bits to then go to that. Like, the tension.
Alberto, I had the scene in my head. The Onyx Cinder ascending, Jod holding on, saying goodbye to the kids. 33 popping up and being like, goodbye. And they leave off to the next adventure and to find the Jedi and to be his best self. But like now I'm like, I don't think that's happening.
Oh man, it's a complete 180.
Like I think he's a bad guy.
I'm gonna wait a little bit so we can. But I don't know. I don't think there's a. If this happened last week and then this week,
For sure.
We don't have enough time unless next week is an hour and a half episode, which we know it's not going to.
Unless it like Tony has this theory where the next episode is gonna open with him being like killing all the droids and being like, "I'm here to help you."
Oh.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to.
Just takes off the Mission Impossible mask. The thing I didn't have it on my notes, but every time I watch the episode is, why did he turn his lightsaber on at the end? It doesn't make sense because there's no danger right now. So
maybe he's gonna kill them.
Maybe
Tony's gonna threaten them. I don't know. I have no idea. Like
I don't know.
I'm done with speculating. Like give me the show.
But I love Fern so much, and I'm expecting the finale for her to come back with some sassy comment back at him, because she's ready to say something when he's yelling, what are you gonna say? And I guess she's afraid or doesn't find the words to say. Hopefully that comes back later. But anyway, they get to At Attin, and then I love the design of the ground just opening up.
The soccer field.
20 people died as that thing was opening, but we won't worry about them. And then the platform comes up, which is another great way to keep everything secured. Mm-hmm. Love the design of it going down, the core of the planet, whatever that was. It's a great visual. Now he's passing as a Republic emissary. Yep. And the droids, being as dumb as they are, believe him.
No. He's like, and get me your finest refreshments. Cerveza Cristal.
You saw it. You saw Rick from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one. I thought that one of my last thoughts last week is when the pirates get there, the mint is not gonna be working or there's nothing there. So I'm surprised that not only is there one immense mint.
There's
over 1,000.
39.
Yeah, just to make it the 1138.
No, 1139.
Yeah, sorry. If you take the one that he was in, this 1138 left. What a great scene of him just finally getting all the credits, just falling in his face, smug. He's so happy. Finally, show's over. He's happy. Everyone's happy.
He like that. I love that scene when he starts looking at the gold and it starts falling and he starts laughing. The music there.
Oh yeah,
like genius.
I mean, if you then want to play it's poetry rhymes. The first time we meet him, it's an empty vault basically, and right now it's a full vault. He's crying. I'm pretty sure
that's like so much gold that his treasure is basically worth nothing.
Yeah,
that's like a lot of gold.
Even just why is there so much freaking gold in that planet?
Do you want to get into that?
So just to finish up, and then we'll talk about what we might expect in the finale. So the kids are reunited with the parents again. At what cost? Because this is when the lightsaber is ignited at the end of the episode. So let's keep going with At Attin and all the gold before we jump back into Jod and if there's any redemption. We heard the supervisor. The supervisor spoke.
Stephen Fry,
which I didn't know. Okay, that's fine. Great. Who's the supervisor? Why is there so much gold? Who are they supplying gold to, Oti? Or Republic credits, I should.
Are we going to talk about that or like...
Let's keep going with this and then we'll jump back to Jod.
We have like 1 minute left of the episode.
What do we have left? I forgot.
No, the parents show up and they all hug, and Jod's like, psst.
Yeah, that's what I said. All right, so you want to talk about Jod? We finished with that.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. You threw me off. We're not going to talk about any of that. I'm going to talk about something else. So, just I'm following my notes.
You're the captain.
So, about this show, one of my favorite things about this show is the way that it's shown that we can do a Star Wars show that's not really related to everything else that we know in terms of Jedi versus Sith, Empire versus Rebels, good guy, bad guy. Yeah, that's there. But this is, you could say this isn't even a Star Wars show if you put another name on it. So I'm glad that it's showing, hey, you can create a Star Wars show in this universe without focusing on the main conflicts that we are used to. So I love that that's out there. So now hopefully people can expand on whatever TV shows or movies we get. It doesn't have to be, just say in a simple way, the Skywalker saga. It can be something else.
No, I 100% agree. And I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, who's going to show up in the next episode to tie it back to Mandalorian? I'm like, I don't think anyone needs to show up. Like, all we need to know is that at the time the Mandalorian is happening and the next Galactic Civil War starts, there's pirates out there. Like, I don't really think anyone needs to come in. Like, if we get Carson Teva with something with Kim, I'm fine with that. But, like, I don't think we need it.
I think that's where it would have worked if you give me Carson Teva in that Kim episode. Hey, perfect, works. He was there. Bye, see you. We know now where we are. I don't need the Mandalorian. I don't need Grogu. I don't need anyone else to show up that we know for this show to be a success or for this finale to hit the notes that it needs to hit. Yeah. I think it's gonna distract if it's a big reveal, unless it's less like 3 minutes. Just hey, remember where we are.
I could see them do this thing where they call Kim for help.
Yeah.
To save them from the pirates. And the Republic calls Mando because we know he does jobs for the Republic now. And they're like, hey, you've dealt with pirates before. We need your help. And then he shows up. But I don't think I would like that. Like, again, I agree with you. I think it would distract from everything.
Yeah. And again, we'll see how the show goes. I understand that the Onyx Cinder is not enough to carry all that gold, especially if he wants to go to more vaults. He might need the bigger ship.
I don't think that ship fits everything. Like,
no, I mean, is he even going to call them? He's so greedy. He might want to take everything for. Although he said a couple of times, I need to call my other ship.
I need to go
anyway. So let's talk about Jod.
Okay.
Is Jod really bad? Is there a path to redemption? Do we need him to be redeemed? And I'll just talk for myself right now. Even since the trailers came out, I have been on the same boat that he's a Jedi, or he used to be a Jedi. Maybe he was a Padawan or a Knight during Order 66. Then he got into piracy. He will come back. This is Star Wars. Of course, he's going to help them at the end. He will think that he's going to double cross them, but the trick is that he's actually going to help them. But like you mentioned, when he started yelling at those kids, I'm like, I don't know if there's really not a redemption, but I don't know. He's a good guy. Mm-hmm. And if he was a Jedi, he wasn't really too into the Jedi code. So I'm on the boat right now that if they decide to just leave him as the bad guy for the finale, it makes sense because there's not another villain out there. Like Brutus is dead. So there's no one that is going to come to attack At Attin and the kids that he then needs to turn around and help the kids. Unless the supervisor is actually the big bad and we haven't.
That'd be super random.
Yeah, with his Palpatine there. Or Snoke is the actual supervisor. He's coming out of there. So
he's gold member.
I love gold. So 2 questions here in a similar vein. Is there a path to redemption for Jod? And does he need one, or do you want him to have one?
I think I'm fine either way. Like, if he ends up just being a villain and dies a villain or escapes a villain, I think we would have like one of the most interesting Star Wars villains we've had. And I would definitely like want more stories from him. Like, what was his life like? Things like that. If they do send him through redemption, then great, because now we have like more Jod Na, I guess. I don't know. So I'm fine either or. Like, if I had my way, I think he would get redeemed. But I don't know. Like, I just don't see the vehicle for it unless
Yeah.
like we quickly learn that it's not what we think and there's really something else going on. Like, I just don't see it.
Yeah. Again, it's Star Wars at the end of the day, so there's always that hopeful vibe, and Darth Vader can be redeemed in the last movie. Anyone can be redeemed, right? It just depends how they do it. I know this is part of the Mandoverse. There have been rumors out there that characters from this show will show up in the Filoni movie. It makes sense, and I think I said a couple of weeks ago that you should bring Jude Law back. Like, if you have a marquee out in the movie theater of a Star Wars movie and the name Jude Law is there in the top, people are gonna go watch that movie, even if he's there for 10 minutes.
Yep.
So I really hope that he survives this,
No,
being a good guy or a bad guy. I really hope that we get more with him.
I
And
wish
again,
he stays around.
yeah, all the Mandalorian stuff has to. Season 3 was mostly about pirates. All that's gonna carry on, hopefully, for the Mando Grogu movie plus the Filoni movie, which again with the Ahsoka vibe is a little bit different. But it makes sense that someone from this show shows up. Give us Jude Law, even if he's a pirate that escapes.
And
I
by
mean,
the way,
other-
regarding redemption, like we can say like it's too late. He just needs to do the right
One
thing
thing, yeah.
at the last minute. That's all he needs to do for redemption. So it
And
can
even
happen.
if they put him in jail, we know that New Republic is not too good at keeping people in prison.
Mando will break him out.
Yeah, Mando can break him out. I need to go find someone, and you're the only one that can get me out there. But
You can bring it in cold. Or you can bring it in warm.
yeah. So yeah, like I mentioned, there's really no other villain out there for Jod to kind of fight. Or
Corian Shard.
he's dead,
All
unfortunately.
right.
I mean, nobody, no death, but I think he exploded inside that ship. Where was going? So yeah, I don't know. Like you said, there's no vehicle for him to be redeemed right now, unless there's something going on in At Attin, or something else is going on that we haven't seen. And then I go to last week. I mentioned who is At Attin supplying all Republic credits to? Why do they have this working mint? Who are they supplying all these credits? And that thought came in, even though I was always on the boat that At Attin was a Republic planet that was hidden at some point just because it held a Jedi temple, which hopefully, but I don't see it at this point.
I don't think that's relevant.
Yeah. Maybe it is an old Empire planet and they're supplying credits to rebuild the First Order or through the Empire remnants, basically. So could
That'd
be
be
the
interesting. That would be
Is it-
super interesting.
Is that what they tell the kids when you graduate? Well, actually, we're part of the Empire and we're trying to rebuild in the
Palpatine
outer
set this
regions.
up. That'd be super interesting. I'm of the theory that they stopped supplying gold to the old Republic and the Republic forgot about them, and since it's all run by droids, they're just waiting for the emissary to come by.
So you think he might be the first emissary to show up, and maybe that's why.
Yeah, no, that's the thought that because there's 1,000 vaults that are full of gold.
Yeah,
Again, the galaxy is large; it has thousands of planets. They need a lot of gold, but like,
I think one is enough.
yeah, it was a big vault, and they're like, no, there's 1,000 more. Really?
Yeah, because I mean, if you print them and send them out, you don't need to keep 11,000 volts.
Exactly.
I mean, that could be. Or
Maybe they're like the. I remember when I went to Norway, I learned that they had like this fund. It's like this place where they have $1 trillion just in case like something happens, like for example, COVID or something like that. Maybe it's that. I don't know. They're like going that deep into the Republic political system.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
So yeah, can't wait for the finale. I do think that maybe they'll call Kim for help, and then that's the only way that you can bring someone that we know. I thought about Carson Teva just because of the X-wings. We saw Seb at the end of the Mandalorian. So if they want to make that connection, still we've seen a little bit out of place. I mean, the Onyx Cinder, the new shiny Onyx Cinder, kind of reminds me a little bit of the Razor Crest. So maybe, I mean, I don't want to give it to Din Djarin so quickly, but he can fit a lot of people on that ship. But yeah, I don't know if someone. I'm not expecting someone to show up, so I'll be fine if no one
I'm
doesn't.
hoping no one shows up. I
Yeah, just the
think
kids. Let the kids be the ones to figure this out.
I think that someone will probably show up, but I'm hoping not.
Yeah, and I posted this yesterday. I hope that Jod thinks he left the kids behind, he trapped them or something, and they all show up, and he turns around, you, and then Fern goes, me, just like he
Me.
did in that she did in that first episode. I will die, and it'll be my favorite show when this happens.
By the way, you know who could show up and I would not be angry? I would be super happy. Pelimoto
But oh
get
man,
into the show.
that would be great. Just missing that teeth, and then the mayordomo shows up as her boyfriend, and
Oh
then
my
then it will be my favorite episode.
God.
Oh, so
My accent.
my accent is my. It's I forgot whatever he said. But I just love my so
University.
proper he is from Coruscant. All right. Anything else, Oti, for Skeleton Crew episode 7 or as we gear up for the finale? A show that came, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but a lot of people had very low expectations.
I had super low expectations for
Yeah.
it. And
And
it's been
great.
amazing. It's been
Yeah,
amazing.
it's been great. All right, so that does it. Well, between fandoms, I'm not gonna put it, but just your thoughts, real quick. I did listen to your and Tony's episode on it, but the Christmas special for Doctor Who.
Ooh, I really liked it. It's one of those specials that I thought it was unremarkable. Like, I don't really like the Christmas specials that much. But that scene in the middle when he's with Anita and
in the
forming this
hotel.
friendship, that made everything to me. I really liked it, and it got me super excited for the new season, which is hopefully right around the corner.
Yeah, we'll see. I have been doing a watch along just to get into it as we came into a Christmas special. So I was in this nudity era. It's a refreshing show, a refreshing episode, and that middle part was perfect. It's like so heartwarming to see the Doctor be able to spend a whole year in one place and the relationship he formed with Anita. I just did comment about, I don't have a chair. I never thought about that. Yeah, this is chair time.
You don't
But
even
they
have
did-
shares. I don't
yeah,
even have shares.
yeah. Oh, it was great. So
And yeah, no,
Right.
I like this. I like seeing the Doctor enjoy his time
mhm.
instead of, like, for example, Matt Smith in the Picasso episode, and he's like, "Oh, this is how time usually goes,
Yeah,
slowly
so
and in the
slow.
right order."
Yeah,
So yeah, no, I'm very very excited for what's like. Did you see the trailer for season 2?
yeah, if you want to call it a trailer.
Yeah, it's a 30-second thing, but I'll take it. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, excited. And to get Vera Seto as the companion. We'll see how that relationship. She doesn't want to be there. It's the only thing I took from that trailer.
No,
She
she's
wants
like,
to go back.
I think it's kind of like a runaway bride situation
Oh,
where
okay.
she shows up there. What are you doing here?
Yeah, we'll see. Real quick, I won't talk about it, but I finished A Path of Fear, the first one in the Reign of the Empire book trilogy by Alexander Freed. Dude, this is already, I can see it
It's good?
topping. Dude, it's amazing. It's
Okay.
gonna be in the top of 2025 favorite Star Wars book. It's gonna be at top of
Ooh.
that on a lot of lists.
I was actually looking at my Star Wars books pre-orders, and I thought of canceling it. I was like, am I really gonna read it? But okay, I'll take it.
Dude, I don't want
I'll
you
keep
to
it.
skip the High Republic because I want to
No,
talk
no,
about
no.
it.
I'm not gonna skip the High Republic. Don't worry.
But I know. But if you get your hands on this book, you can wait. Like the other ones can wait. This book is just amazing.
It's good. Okay. No,
And
I'll put it on my list for sure.
Because I know, again, maybe I'm wrong, but I know some of how much you enjoy, unfortunately, kind of diving into the politics of real world and what's happening out there. And from seeing it from a Star Wars point of view, I wrote on my review at one point I was angry, not about the book, but about what it made me think about what's going on right now. But seeing from a Star Wars where it's like so obvious and like you just want to rip someone's throat out. So I know a lot of people say, oh, if you love Andor, you love this book. Yes. And if you love Rogue One, yes, but there's action in this book, but it's not an action book. It's mostly about all the conversations. And if you like all the Mon Mothma scenes in Andor, and when she talks with Skarsgård, I just forgot the name of his character, with Luthen. So those conversations, those type of scenes, and Mothma working with pairings on the book.
Parents on the book.
Pairings on the book. Dude.
I'm reading that book.
If you like those type of scenes, that's the book. If you're gonna enjoy the hell out of it. So
We get
I'll do
Revenge
a
of the Sith, Perrin.
Dude, just read it. It's a
Okay.
great book.
Okay.
I'll do my review when it comes out. Here I'll be as spoiler free
It's
as possible.
February or March.
February
No,
25. So you still
it's
got time,
basically
like a
March.
month. Yeah, so get a month and a half.
Okay. No,
All right,
I'll
so-
read it. I'll read it.
All right, so that does it for our talk today. Thank you again to Oti for joining us. I thought you were gonna come back next week, so thanks for being here.
I'm here.
Thanks to Dale.
So we're
and
doing
Brennan.
Fridays now.
Yes, because my son has basketball games on Saturdays, and they're either 3, 4, or 5 p.m. So
Okay,
I
yeah.
can't, and they'll go till the end of February, and then in March, my daughter is doing cross country, so she might have 1 or 2 Saturdays. I don't know the time, so we'll wing it. But
Fridays it is.
if it works, maybe we'll keep it Fridays. I don't think so, but we'll see.
No.
No, probably not. But for right now, we'll be back next week with the finale of Skeleton Crew. So make sure to join us Friday at 7. And let me put this again real quick. I mentioned at the beginning where is it? If you can help
okay.
all the people out in California, and it's down in the description of the video. So, all right, Oti, again, thank you. Congratulations again. We'll be back next week. So stay safe, be safe, and may the force be with you. The power of unclaimsies. See you next week.